everybody, I am Christy Love, and today on My Media Melody I have a very, very special guest of mine. So why don't you introduce yourself to My Media Melody?
Hi, my name is Bree Renee. I am the owner of Breeze Clean, and also I just started my journey going to media recently. I'm a graduate of Specs Howard.
That's it. Congratulations
Thanks.
on graduating from Specs Howard. So basically today I brought Bria here to talk about finding yourself within the crowd, like distancing yourself from negative people or from people who are not on the same path and same journey as you, and people who really don't understand you, and they feel like, oh, like your ego is too big, like you're doing too much. And I feel like, no, it's me finding my spiritual journey and it's finding my way through life. So me and Bria are gonna get into this, and I want you guys to let me know, how do you feel about this? Email me, send me some comments, and I'm gonna give you guys some tips on how I dealt with finding myself through my spiritual journey and through my journey in media. So basically, how I found myself was I was surrounded by a lot of people who didn't understand that I wanted to be great. Like, I know it sounds kind of cliche and it sounds like, oh, like she's just into her ego or she's being like cocky or something like that. But when I say I want to be great, I want to be great. I want to make a powerful impact on the generation that looks up to me. I want to make a positive impact on the world, and I feel like to do that, you need to be great and you need to be focused. So a lot of times I don't really dig into negativity a lot. When people come at me like through social media or people like start to have negative comments about me, I ignore them, and people think that's me being like stuck up or you're not real or you're not this and you're not that. It's just that I'm finding myself and I need to display a level of professionalism. And when people come at you and attack you like that, as far as you try to find yourself, or you can't do that, or you can't do that, or you can't listen to God, and that's not going to help, and that's not going to work, you have to focus on you. What is this going to make you succeed? What is going to make you successful in life? You can't listen all the time to what other people are saying. It's something within you, and I feel like there is a light within all of us, and we have to reach in and find it, and we have to be able to shine through, because there are not a lot of positive leaders and role models that I look up to. I can say honestly, there are not a lot of positive leaders and role models that we have in this country, and those that we do find, we have to continue to shed light on them and continue to excel them and help them succeed and push them towards the light. Also, some positive things that help me along the way is reading books. So my time that I spend away from my friends, I read a lot of books. I read a lot of gratitude books, spiritual journey books, books that deal with a lot of meditation, because from time to time when you're working with so many different people, it's a lot of different energy, and sometimes you're not ready to go into that energy because you've been like in a space like where you've been meditating all day, or you just been in a good, kind of mood. And sometimes when you go into something and you be like, whoa, like our energy just not click at all. Sometimes you gotta kind of step back, you gotta find yourself, say, I can't hang around this person because I know they're gonna be always complaining, or they always filled with drama or stuff like that. So you really have to find yourself, and you have to know, like, I want better for myself. Like, I want myself to succeed. I want to be around positive people. I want to be around people that are ready to win with me this year. So why don't you tell them a little bit of how you dealt with people while trying to find yourself in media, spiritual journey, like stuff like that?
Well, basically, just to take y'all back like a couple years ago, like I was partying. I was like, I didn't really have I knew I wanted to go to school. I knew I wanted to do certain stuff, but it was just like I ain't had no sense of direction, no focus, nothing. And you know how as you get older, you start to like, get time to reflect, like, okay, I'm at this age in life and da-da-da-da. But whatever, I realized at what point I was in life. And then when that came along, I started to focus on what I really wanted. And when you find yourself, when you're so used to being with people that's like, oh, dang, you used to party every weekend, used to do this, used to do that, da-da-da. And then you just be like, I don't want to do that no more. Like, you should still be cool, but that's how you learn who your friends are. Like, if you change course and they don't change with you, that's not your friend. Like, maybe y'all need to separate for a while, but that's basically it for me. Like, I just really had to just isolate myself in real life and find out what I wanted and what I needed.
I think that any friend of yours or family member, associate, whatever the case may be, any friend of yours that doesn't want to see you succeed and evolve and change and grow into the person who you always dreamt of becoming, then that's not a real friend, because change, it happens naturally. love change because I embrace it. And I know sometimes change is not the easiest thing because it's like, oh, I want to go party with my friends, or oh, I want to go do this. However, I also have a image and I have a brand to maintain. So I can't always do the stuff that I used to do when I was 18, 19. Like, I'm 24 years old, so I have to remain on the business side and think about my brand, think about my image, and think about the younger people that are watching that look up to you and say, hey, well, if she's doing this and I can do this, like, no, I can't really do that anymore. Like, I'm sorry that I can't go out and party or spend this money here, spend this money there. I have a brand, I have an image, and I'm working on myself within, and I'm trying to directly focus on me, focus on my brand, and focus on my life, and see that I have something better for me. And you should push your friends or your family members to do the same thing as well. All right, you guys, so some tips that I have from you from this segment. I read a book, and it's basically, I have to comment on this on my Instagram page, but basically it's a spiritual journey book. And in the book, it talks about recognizing the light within yourself. And I feel like this is very important because even though some people are like, oh, like, what are you talking about? Like, what is light? Like, what is that? And I feel like light is my energy. Light is like my aura that I give off to people and that I give off into the whole universe, basically. And so one thing I always tell people, recognize the light within yourself. Who are you and who is it that you want to be? And once you start finding your purpose and you start finding out why you're here, you'll be able to see, okay, I need to recognize the light within myself. Like, who am I? If you're feeling like you're at a bad space or you've been at a bad space for about a week, you need to recognize the light within yourself and pull yourself together and put yourself back on that higher self that you were made to be. So that's one of my tips. What about you, Bria?
All right, one of my tips, I got a couple of them.
Okay, we'll give
no,
it.
just kidding. But some of my tips are, I've been reading this book called The People Factor by Van Moody.
Okay.
And basically it tells you how to build relationships, whether it's with business, personal, or any aspect of a relationship. But a couple of things that I've been applying to my life is that, first of all, anybody that's in your life, you have to take account of what people say and do. If somebody says something that's the total opposite of what they do, they are not for you. They don't, like, they're not doing it on purpose. First off, they don't know who they are, so of course they're doing something totally different than what they're saying. And also, they don't respect you. So number one, don't even keep yourself around people like that. And then another thing, if you go around a certain group of people, like, you may have changed, like, things may have changed. Who knows what the circumstances may be. But when you get around those people and the vibe is not good or positive, or if you don't know what the vibe is, you just sitting there trying to feel something out, that's not the crowd for you. Like, it's not. If you wasting your time and there's no need to force something that's not organic. Like, if it's not organic, it's gonna hurt you in the end.
Gonna hurt you really bad. One last tip that I have for you guys before we get out of here is, the first tip I said was recognize the light within yourself, but also recognize the light in other people. A lot of people don't know that they have the potential to grow and that they have the potential to change. And sometimes as their friends or family members or associates or co-workers or whatever the case is, sometimes you might be put in a certain position or a certain place to help other people. So always try to help other people recognize the light within themselves. I have met many of people in the past year, from me doing media and being positive and uplifting like I am. I'm not trying to be cocky, but this is me being serious. I've met a lot of people come to me, and a lot of people have changed their attitudes, ways, just by me being around them, say, hey, like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and they actually believe it. And when you start to continue to work and continue to progress, they see that and they look up to you and say, hey, like, I need to get on my stuff with this, I need to do this, I need to do that. And they stop making excuses for themselves because they see that you have changed and you have evolved. So make sure you guys are finding the light within yourselves, and make sure you help others find the light within them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another segment of My Media Melody. I am Christy Love.
And I am Bria Renee.
And I'll see you next week.